My name is Zigzag, and I'm a professional Geoguessr player who's played at both World Cups and many other Geoguessr tournaments. And over the last couple of years, the Geoguessr community and pro scene have expanded massively, which means these days it's a lot harder to get to the highest rank on ladder, which is Champion. So that's why today I thought it'd be fun to play against one person in every single rank, from 0 ELO in the Bronze Division, all the way up to the Champion Division, and even to the World Champion. And I'll sweeten the deal by giving anyone who beats me 20 bucks along the way. So without further ado, let's go chat to our 0 ELO player. Hello.
Hello, what's going on?
How's it going? So who am I speaking to right now?
You're speaking to the Bronze.
So Bronze we're calling Breezy Bridge, is that right?
Yeah, just call me Breezy.
We got Breezy B in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Breezy B is currently at 0 games played, 0 ELO, which puts you in the Bronze Division. Breezy, what's your experience with Geoguessr so far?
I watched someone play it once. I saw you versus Laser Beam once, and you're pretty terrible at darts. That's about all I know. So I'm pretty inexperienced, I have to say.
Sounds perfect. So shall we get into our 1v1?
Hey, let's get into it.
All right, so here's how things are going to work. It's no moving with 10,000 HP. Are you ready, Breezy?
Oh, hell yeah, I am.
Let's go. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, before we get to the rest of the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Level 8. So as Geoguessr players, many of us, including myself, love to travel. And I can truly speak from my own experience that traveling around with clunky or oversized luggage can be extremely inconvenient. And that is where Level 8 comes in, because they create streamlined, attractive, and very practical luggage, which on top of being extremely functional are very good looking as well. Very soon I'll be taking off to Tokyo, Japan for the APAC regional tournament, and I'll be taking my navy blue Level 8 Voyager suitcase. This thing is extremely sleek, extremely spacious, and one of my favorite features of the suitcase is that it has its own inbuilt combination security lock. And that's been especially useful when I've stayed at places like hostels. And in addition to the Voyager, Level 8 has tons more quality travel related products, which I can highly recommend. So if you are interested in doing so, you can use the code that appears on screen right now for 10% off your purchases on Level 8, and you can check out their full catalog in the first line of the description and in the pinned comment. Once again, thank you to Level 8 for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to it. First round. Maybe your first ever round of Geoguessr, right? One of your first ever.
I think it is.
Okay, so I've got a pretty good idea here. This one might be fairly difficult for a new player, I think, but I'm gonna put in my guess.
I'm a natural talent. Oh my god, you move too quick. I'm gonna say, like, this is too easy, just like for a man like me, no problem at all.
Yeah, true. Okay, you're in Somalia. Not a bad guess. You got the right continent. And
That's right. That means something. That's something.
Yeah, exactly. I was pretty close, so it's a significant chunk of damage, but it could be worse.
That's right. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Exactly.
All right. Next one here is fascinating. It's very flat, so you shouldn't click somewhere that's got mountains, right?
Oh, that's right. And I know exactly where all the mountains are.
Yeah.
Based off this truck, like I know exactly where this is. I think I've been here before.
Ooh, true. Have you? Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'll lock in quickly so that you don't take too much advantage of me.
You better be quick. I'm getting there quick.
Okay.
Exact location within a meter, I'd say.
Okay, within a meter. That's a tall claim.
Within a meter. You just wait and see.
All right, guys. Breezy Bridge 322. Here he is, within 1 meter. Oh, Tunisia.
It's the same continent, though. It's the same continent.
You got a continent streak of 2. That's very good.
Exactly. That's big for me. That's very big for me.
Huge. All right, let's see if we can make it 3 here. Ooh.
I'm seeing lots of rocks, which is good. The cloud formations tell me a lot, I have to say.
Definitely a lot of rocks, that's for sure.
That is for sure. That's my first observation.
And
And a very important one, too. In the Geoguessr world, I know you want to work out the rocks really quickly.
The rocks, they're a big part of the game. You're definitely right about that.
Most certainly.
All right, so I thought it was somewhere around here.
I don't want to give it away, since I'm obviously the more experienced player here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
That was
Kazakhstan.
I wouldn't call that close. I wouldn't have called that close.
All right, so Breezy Bridge, unfortunately, your time is up. 3 rounds, though. You didn't get 2
You
rounded.
got lucky.
Yeah.
Off day. I just had an off day today, but you know.
Guys, Breezy Bridge will return. If you want to see Breezy Bridge back, let us know. We'll train him up.
Well,
All right.
You're going to want to see me back, mate. I'm a natural talent. I've got so much potential. You're going to want to see me back on here because I am the next big Zigzag.
All right, you heard it, guys. That is bronze. Now let's move on to silver. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Nice.
So you are Buzz, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, welcome to our silver player. So, Buzz, tell us a little bit about how much you played the game.
Okay, so I played on and off over the years. But then I saw the World Cup and I saw my brother play and also saw some of your videos and I was inspired to play a bit more. So recently, a month ago, I started playing again. And thanks to your videos and your guides, I got really into the game. And yeah, I've been grinding ever since.
Super stuff. All right, I'm going to link you the lobby. Let's see how we go.
I'll be honest, if I can take a single point of damage off your life bar, I'll be a happy man.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. Well, I'll let you know that the bronze wasn't able to. So maybe as a silver, you'll be the first one.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, this time I muted up so I can explain the rounds a little bit. And here we got Boroughbridge, which is near York. So York is one of the biggest cities up in Yorkshire, which is over here. Then I guess we just zoom in here and look for the 168 because it should be theoretically a fairly big road. The 168 is kind of eluding me. We see the 166 here and the 165 here. So I'm hoping that the 168 jumps out to me. Seems like it won't, which is unfortunate. So I'll probably just guess York here. It should be really quite close, I imagine. And there it is. Unfortunately, oh, he went Bournemouth because Boroughborough, I think it's a fairly similar word. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Maybe he just couldn't find York. Fair enough. Either way, I mean, I didn't know where York was until recently, to be quite honest with you guys. Okay, next one here. This is interesting. Looks like Europe for sure. We got the red Google card. Checking the Google card as a pro player, something that's very relevant, can be very useful indeed. The country though is not too obvious here. We do have mountains to our north. I'm thinking that this is probably Slovakia. Does that make sense? I think this is Slovakia. And I think we're probably more in the west of the country. So maybe looking at these mountains near Nitra. I hope so. Okay, so it was Slovakia and look at that. A pretty good guess from Buzz there. This one immediately looks like it's going to be a closer game, but we're into round number 3 here. Turning around here, we see a bunch of olive trees. That's definitely going to be relevant. Mostly you're going to see olive trees growing around the Mediterranean, of course. We've also got a ton of cypress trees. Cypress trees are really common in southern Croatia, in Albania and Greece. You also get a decent amount in Spain and around the Mediterranean, but I was thinking western Greece here maybe. Oh, and we even have Greek language, so that would definitely confirm that suspicion, I suppose. I'm going to go here in the western Peloponnese. And okay, it was actually over here in the island of Kefalonia, which nets us 1,000 points, but of course he saw the Greek, so that wasn't too hard. The next one here is also pretty difficult, I would say. This time I'm going to go for the pressure guess. I feel like this round's really difficult, and I can see the front of the Google card here, which would be the variant that doesn't appear in Europe. And I mean, with a perfectly western road here, that means we're on a grid, which mostly means US or Canada. So let's see if that's correct. And actually it was Saskatchewan. I was not expecting that. And another decent guess here. So Buzz is definitely a pretty strong player. Okay, next one here is definitely interesting. It looks like Thailand to me with the rice fields, the red soil, and the eucalyptus trees, but there are still a few options, I guess, like Laos and Cambodia as well. Though I'm gonna guess just here, and we'll see if he knows it's Thailand or not. Okay, and he is unfortunately in Ecuador here, and because it's 1.5 times damage, that's gonna be big. He's almost out of health here. We're up to double damage now, and we're in Uruguay, a country that he could definitely get and take some damage off me for sure. This one just seems to be somewhere near the middle of the country to me. We can see that typical like bunches of trees and lots of cattle and sheep and stuff that you get in Uruguay. So I'm just gonna click in the middle of the country here. And unfortunately, he is up in Ireland. And it was Uruguay, so unfortunately our silver has to depart now. But let's congratulate him on a good game. Buzz, well played, man. Good game.
Good games, good games. Those last 2 rounds. Oh no.
The last 2 rounds, not the greatest, but I think your Czechia guess was a really good call. And all in all, you were very consistent towards the start of the duel. So I think you played really nicely for a silver.
Thank you, thank you. I hope I get better over time, and your content is helping that a lot.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up. And let's move on to the gold, shall we? Hello there, we've got our gold.
Hello.
How's it going? Where are you from, my friend?
Serbia.
From Serbia, indeed. All right, I've got your profile up here. We got Yoda Gaming, 400 completed games on normal games, and your all-time peak is 800 rating. Okay, so how much Geoguessr have you played, would you say, apart from that?
Well, I play it casually. I play it quite a lot, a few times a week.
Nice, very good. I'll accept your friend request. I see that you got one there. Let's see how we go. Good luck, my friend.
Thanks, you too.
All right, we got Yoda Gaming here, our representative gold. Let's see how things go. First round here is probably not ideal for a gold because we're going to be in Eastern Russia, I think. Yeah, this is the white card that you get in Eastern Russia and a few different places in Russia. But yeah, I would suggest that this is a particularly difficult round for someone around that gold level. I was thinking it might be the city of Khabarovsk, but it could be Amur, it could be Biobidjan, it could be Blago, it could be Blagovish.
2
hours later.
It could be Blagoveshchensk, which I could not pronounce for 10 seconds there. Anyway, let's go for Khabarovsk. All right, it was indeed there. It's true that Yoda Gaming did have the right country. He is all the way there next to Kazan, so that was definitely a tough round. Round number 2 here, hopefully it's a little bit more kind to him, though it doesn't necessarily look like it will be, because this is Australia. Once again, we have the same Google car. This time, though, with the bollard, we know we're going to be in Australia. And whereabouts? Well, when you have this really hazy camera with the kind of berry green landscape, it's normally above Brisbane. There are a few other places as well, but I would say like near Sunshine Coast would be my best guess here. So I'm going to guess there. Okay, and it was indeed just by the Sunshine Coast there. He's also got Australia. So technically speaking, Yoda Gaming is having a decent game here. 2 countries correct, just really big countries and honestly pretty unlucky. Next one here is going to be Norway, I think. Sometimes boats will have the registration like town written on them in certain countries. This is not going to be one of those places, I guess, but definitely looks like the south of Norway because it feels like relatively warm, even though it's not in the middle of summer. So I'm probably just thinking south of Oslo here, maybe towards Kristiansand, like around here maybe. We have these long dashes on the outside, so I wouldn't be surprised if Yoda knew it, and it was towards Kristiansand, so it's 600 more points, but you got to give it to him. He's got the country right 3 times in a row. It's pretty good stuff. And our next one here is going to be the white car here. We've got the Dur stop sign that is only in Turkey, and we've got the place names here. We've got Geoguessr and Samsun nearby. So Samsun is on the north coast, and then we need Geoguessr, which I'm actually not sure where it is. So let's give a quick scan here. So we're passing over a major highway here, and is that the ocean? I think that's the ocean. Oh, and here's Geoguessr on the map, and Samsun and Geoguessr are in the same direction, and Sinop is the opposite direction. So we're probably at this intersection right here. Let's check the angle of that. If we line it up, then I guess we're probably here. No, more like here, I guess. I thought it should be this one. Maybe it's a different intersection. I honestly can't find the exact intersection here, which is kind of annoying me. I mean, I do like to get the 5K every now and again, but yeah, I don't know. I'll go for this one. Maybe that's correct. And okay, was this one up here? Well, I'm not the best at 5King, but I gave him so long that he did actually manage to find Samsung, so well done. I mean, Yoda Gaming is having quite a good performance here as well, I would say. I'm definitely impressed with both the silver and the gold. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Looks like it'll be Canada or US with this extremely straight road and those cars there, though I'm not sure which country. This is actually one of the rare rounds where it could definitely be either one. He's actually guessed first this time, and to be honest, I really wanted to get close, but I'm just not entirely sure what is the best guess. Like, I think it could be Minnesota through to New York, so I'll actually do a bit of hedging here. And it was actually in Ontario, so not the greatest guess, but it probably is going to be enough. It is. I mean, not the most deserved win there. We won in the wrong country, but at least we did take out our gold opponent, so let's go chat to him. Yoda Gaming, my friend. Well played. That was a good game. You had some good guesses in there, my friend.
Yeah, it was an okay game.
I mean, you got the country every single time that I did, right? So, ain't bad, I would say.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for representing the whole gold division, and maybe we'll meet each other in duels one day on the battlefield.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Hopefully so. Alright, Yoda Gaming, have a great evening.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Name on the other end. Name, you are a Master Division player. Tell us a little bit about your Geoguessr story.
Yeah, that's right. I know I picked up Geoguessr 1 year ago or something like that, and I've been watching you getting better over the time. Just got into Champion last week and then fell out this week.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're a high Master player then.
Yeah, I feel like my skill set is kind of weird, not gonna lie.
Do you have any particular countries you're good at?
Not really. I feel like I miss some very obvious stuff, and then I'm very specific knowledge based about specific areas and specific countries. It's very weird.
Okay, cool. Well, you get $20 if you manage to beat me. I'll send you the link to the lobby, and let's see how you go.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Against Name, our Master Division representative. This has been good fun so far. This is the first duel where I could potentially start losing my money. And so we got a property marker here. It looks like the US style, potentially Canadian style as well. We've got pines that strike me as more northern looking, I would say. So probably thinking up towards this area of North America. And beyond that, I'm not too sure. The hills are definitely quite big to our south there. So I don't know, potentially Pennsylvania, something like that. Kind of hard for me to say. I'm not even sure. This could be Canada. I think I'll just go for the Pennsylvania idea though. Okay, it was actually Vermont. I was gonna say it did look a lot like Canada. He's in West Virginia, so honestly, far from an ideal guess for myself there. But guys, shh, I'm recording this at 4 a.m. That's my cope if I lose any of these. Hey, Don't shoot me. Let's see what we got here. This looks to me like Spain. We've got flat signposts. We've got like a bunch of rocks, including a rock wall on the side of the road. That is something you see in Spain, Portugal sometimes. I don't know, maybe it actually strikes me as more Portuguese. Do we see any hunting signs? We don't. The rock wall is certainly interesting. I think I would actually go Portugal here, but on the Spanish border, maybe up this direction here. Oh, and it is actually Spain. So this is the first time someone's got the country that I failed, but we were closer, so I can't be too mad. Big mountains northwest of us here. This is Eswatini. Where do you see these huge mountains northwest? I guess somewhere like around here, maybe? Let's try that. Actually, no, I disagree with my guess. This is too big of a population. So there we go. Is this the first damage we take? I think so. 4 damage there. Have we taken any damage yet? I forget. Maybe we already did, but regardless, nice work to name there. A nice and solid guess. And now we're in Sri Lanka, so the multipliers will start to build after this round. I'm just gonna go outside Colombo though. Okay, this time it's our turn to be narrowly closer. 23 damage. 1.5 times damage now. We're in the sand dunes. I would say these are the sand dunes of UAE. UAE, like you would think of it as a desert, and it's absolutely true. Like, it's filled with sandy landscapes like this. You also get this landscape in certain parts of Oman, but they don't have this older version of the camera, so you can pretty much just use the metagame to get that this is the UAE. But name is definitely holding up here very nicely. And yeah, I could definitely see myself losing $20 here. It's not out of the question. All right, we've got thick road lines here, and we've got the blue Google car. Where are we? I thought maybe this is Romania or Hungary. One of those two could make sense. I think of the two, Romania probably makes more sense. The problem is the hills are very small and mild, so it leads me to not be sure. Honestly, I'm gonna go Hungary just because it's more central. Let's see about that. And it was Romania. Honestly, a bit of a blunder from me there, but yeah, the hills were like so oddly shaped for Romania. Normally they're either like taller or it's flatter, but yeah, that's like one of those unique parts of Romania. Next one here, we're gonna be in Argentina. We got a lot of wooden poles here, a lot of clumps of trees like we saw in that Uruguay round earlier. Kind of reminds me of Buenos Aires province here, but can't say I'm exactly sure. I feel like this should be a decent enough guess. And it was Buenos Aires province, but all the way down towards Bahia Blanca there. So it's 2,000 points of damage, but again, could have definitely optimized that guess a lot. Just like a lot of the ones in this duel have not been playing ideally. Okay, next one here, this is Portuguese pavement. And with this like eucalyptus forest in the background, I would say this is probably the north of the country, somewhere towards Porto. Okay, it was more the north of the country there, but name is definitely holding on. All right, round number 9. We're really going the distance against the master player here. This time I got the white Google car. So this probably reminds me of somewhere in Peru with this landscape. We can also tell we're driving right-hand side of the road, so that would make quite a bit of sense. Also in Peru, they like to do these white outer lines with nothing in the middle, which is pretty rare elsewhere in South America, to be honest. So a pretty good clue for Peru. And whereabouts would this be? Probably northern in the country towards Tarapoto. It could be also towards Pucallpa, but I prefer guessing up here, I think. Oh, and it was just down here. I was looking at this area after I guessed, but yeah, not the best guess there. We'll send a wave. Ah, man, definitely not the easiest. This one is gonna be Cambodia. We're gonna go all the way. This is not a particularly difficult round, I think. Name will get it, and we will be going further into this duel. Oh, and he actually missed it. To be fair, it was not the easiest round now that I think of it. And yeah, there's 13k damage, so it was a 10 rounder here against Name. Not my best play, but we have to say Name actually played very well and took points off me, so let's go chat. Name, well played, my friend. 10 rounds. Well done. That was a good effort.
Thank you.
Unless I'm mistaken, I could be, but I think you're the first person to do damage to me as well.
That's nice to hear. I realized that the last second it was Cambodia, but I'm very bad at India reading guessing, so I just sent it.
Right, yeah. Understandable. I mean, that is like definitely something that pros mix up as well, so you're not alone there. But my friend, thank you so much for representing the master players, and I think it's time to move over to our champion player. All right, we are joined by Luva, a fellow Aussie, friend of Breezy Bridge as well. Luva, tell us a little bit about your Geoguessr career and how you got to the champion division, the highest rank.
So I've been playing for about 3 years now. I got into the game through your videos.
Oh, cool.
Watched a lot of them, a lot of Geoguessr Explained, shout out.
Yeah, facts.
Plonket, all the good stuff.
Yeah, yep.
And now I'm here, yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. All right, Luva, you got $20 to win if you can manage to beat me here. Should be a very fun duel, and you're representing the champion level players with an all-time high rating of 1500, pretty high. Let's see how you can do.
Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, guys, let's go against our champion rated player. It's Luva. Send him a wave back, and we're starting off in New Zealand here. New Zealand, not my strongest country, but we do have this spammed fence post here, which is very common in the North Island. Not to mention, we also have giant ferns, which you can see in some of the places in the South Island that get a ton of rainfall, but they're more normal to see, I would say, on the North Island. So let's see if we see anything else here. I don't know, the shape of the hills kind of reminds me of like Gisborne Napier, so I think I'll go Northern Napier here. Okay, was actually over in Taranaki, and that means that Luva is taking early damage and already fast surpassing all the other players so far, which is impressive. Next one here, okay, with this antenna, this is a fascinating round. We're going to be in the Canary Islands, it's the only option, and we're looking out northeasterly here. Probably reminded me of one of these islands over here, maybe like this one. We could be on this beach over here, for example. Could even be La Graziosa. We have a western mountain and a northwestern mountain. I kind of like that. I feel like this shape in the background could be this island. I could be wrong about that, but I don't mind the idea. And did we get the 5K? Almost. We got the right island there. And he's over in Spain. Obviously got the right country, so that's something, but unfortunately not too close. Round number 3 here, we're going to see this car, which is unique to Kazakhstan, but I already knew it was Kazakhstan just looking at these poplar trees and the massive mountain in the background. We also have massive mountains south as well. I'm wondering where this is. Northeast Hills, massive mountains south. I suppose we're somewhere over here, like towards Tokmok would be my best idea, but yeah, I've never been the best at Kazakhstan. Okay, it is towards Tokmok, and I said Kazakhstan instead of Kyrgyzstan. Actually crazy how many times I've done that in videos. Okay, this looks like Mexico maybe. We have people on a bike here. This wooden pole that's like very dark does remind me of Mexico. And yeah, we have coastal insulators. Okay, that's cool. So coastal insulators, these are these things at the top of the pole. They're very common on the coastal states in Mexico, so Veracruz particularly, Colima, Michoacan, states like that. With southeast mountains, I don't mind the Colima idea here maybe. I feel like Colima can definitely look like that in the flat part here. I might go for that, I reckon. Ooh, it was Colima. Oh no, it wasn't. It was right over the border of Michoacan. He's in Oaxaca, so we're doing a bit more damage here. So since the New Zealand, things have been relatively smooth sailing, but Luva's definitely keeping up. Okay, next one here, Covestro. Privat nur für Berichtiger. We have German, and we also have brick architecture. So German plus brick architecture would put us in the north of the country here. Definitely not going to be in Austria or Switzerland. They have different kinds of buildings. That being said, where are we going to go? I would say it looks fairly similar to Hamburg, but also maybe a bit warmer with these trees. I think I'll go Bremen here, but could even be further south. Honestly, this building looks like the Netherlands, so maybe I should have just gone on the Netherlands border. Yep, I should have. It was actually in Duisburg. Okay, again, Luva is closer there, so you just never know. Do the champions proud, Luva. Let's see the next round here. We got the Senegal Google car, and we can see a Senegalese pole here with the blue license plate. This would have been a very easy Senegal, even without the car, of course. Looks to me like the south of the country because it's so green and so vibrant. Beyond that, not really sure. Probably just going to click one of the main roads here. Like this one should work. Well, I feel like the N6 might be better quality than this, so maybe I'll go instead on the R21. Okay, well, it was in the south, but we were pretty much equal distance there, so nothing crazy on the Senegal there, as I kind of thought. Next one here is interesting, though. We got a very generic European round. So first thought was like Greece here, and yeah, I do think it's Greece. I think they do this kind of reflector where it's like kind of sticking out a lot in Greece, quite a lot. This is very like interesting for Greece, though. It feels like we're going to be right near the coast, which of course is pretty common in Greece, but I'm going to go around Arta here. I think that's decent. Okay, it was right nearby there in Greece. His Italy guess is pretty good. All things considered, Bari and Western Greece do look quite similar, so not a bad guess there. And Luva is now a bit down in HP. And we move on to the next round here. We're outside a place called Vladichin. Language probably reminds me of Czech or maybe Slovak, something like that. Is it actually a V? I think so. It might just be Vladichin. I'm not sure. I mean, regardless, looking around here, it probably reminded me more of Czechia. It just looks like Germany in general. And obviously Czechia is way closer to Germany, so I would probably just go near the border. It just looks a lot like Germany to me, especially with these buildings. They look Slavic, but they also have like a distinct Germanness about them. So I'll go Pilsen in Czechia. And it was a really good guess there, though Luva is also in Czechia. Kudos to him for getting it, and the game goes on. Okay, round number 9. We could go all the way to round number 10 again here. This one's going to be Thailand. You can actually count the number of ridges on these insulators to check which part of Thailand you're in. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So because we have 8 instead of 6, we're much more likely to be in the south of Thailand or all the way in the north. The middle part does not have that many insulator ridges, and yeah, with the oil palms, this should be in the south of the country. Where exactly, I'm not so sure, but I would probably just tend to go even further south here, maybe towards Trung. Okay, he got the right vibe, and he was actually closer. It was actually in Surat Thani. That's 600 points. Okay, next one here, we're going to be in Ghana. It's just very obvious once you've played a lot of Geoguessr what Ghana looks like. We do have a place name here, Ahafo Ono North. So that's going to be the name of the district, I guess. A half or Ono. Could it be findable? It felt like it was going to be somewhere around here to me. I'm not really sure if we're actually going to be able to find that. Let's check the rest of the landscape here. Yeah, so many palms out here, like over this direction. It should be southern. A half or Ono. Sadly, not seeing it. Although I saw so many places that have similar place names because Ghanaian has a particular sound to it, but unfortunately, I've not got where it is. So I'm just going to hedge here. This should be a decent enough guess. Ooh, a lot closer than us there. Was much more towards Kumasi in a town called Tepa. Okay, or there's a Hafo. It's not the name of the region. Okay, maybe learning those Ghanaian regions could actually be useful. I don't know. Next one here we have Khmer. Looks like it to me. And these polls are definitely congruent with the whole idea of going Cambodia, which is where they speak Khmer. With the super red soil and hilly landscape, probably just a bit further west here, but I don't know. Okay, again, Luva's closer. Definitely with the multipliers, Luva has stepped up his gameplay. It's impressive stuff. 5 times damage now, guys. And we have a big ridge to our south here with like a fjord in our way. So this should be pretty gettable, I would suggest. I was thinking up here, maybe. Yeah, that could make some sense. Like if we were on here, looking over the other side, is there a road there? Hard to say, but I definitely think this part of the country makes sense. Problem is these hills are a bit too big for what I can see in real life here. So maybe it's somewhere else. Oh, look, we got even more land east. Well, that does make sense if we were going to be looking over at that. So I do like that aspect of it at least. One last line up here. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm maybe not in the right area at all. I guess we're kind of committed to it now. Let's see where it actually is. And okay, we got the 5K from Luva here. That's a nice guess. Sentiment, a GG. Round number 13. The comeback is actually happening here, guys. I'm sweating. And we have a Brazil. So Brazil could be good for us here. We got wind turbines, very common in the northeast of the country, so I like that. What else do we have here? Maybe something on the pole. It says Coelce. I know sometimes the last 2 letters indicate the state, so it could be standing for Ceará. I could see that. So we could be here, like near Fortaleza, perhaps. I don't know about that though. It wasn't really my first thought, Fortaleza area. It is very sandy, which is at least something you do see up there. We also have like coastal looking trees. I don't know. This is definitely a difficult round. I'm definitely certain it's like northeast. So if I just go here, that should be a good enough guess. Even if it ends up being like Sergipe or something, we should be pretty much fine. I'll go for that. He's calling GG. He's not confident here. And it was actually CE standing for Ceará. That's a good tip that someone taught me, and that is going to be it. Well, a valiant effort from Luva there, guys. Definitely congratulate him in the comments, and let's go say hi to him. Luva, man, the comeback was happening. GG, bro.
No, I felt momentum. It was coming, but could not clinch it in there.
That is okay. How did you find the game?
I found it good. I certainly had my blunders, but multis were in my favor. Lost that Tenerife at the start, which was unfortunate, but I had some good rounds and nearly made it back. I was hoping that Brazil was a bit more random, but you know, whatever happens, happens.
You were cooking. I can't lie. You were definitely cooking. And I will say, you definitely did better than anyone so far. So you were definitely deserving of your champion label. You can hold your head high. And thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm better than Breezy.
You know, Breezy is the goat, so I don't want to speak too soon here. I'll maybe have to train him up a bit, and then we'll see. You know.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. We played bronze, silver, gold, master, and champion. It's time to take on the reigning Geoguessr world champion, Blinky. Blinky, my friend, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So far, Blinky, I have played someone from every single division in the game. I've defeated them all, which means I'm up to playing the World Cup reigning champion, which is you.
Okay.
If you beat me, you get 20 bucks. Pretty simple. It's going to be a 10,000 health, no move game. Are you ready, my friend?
I guess.
Good luck, my friend. Let's get into the game.
Yep, good luck.
Guys, we're now against the world champion, the reigning world champion, probably the best player at no moving mode in the world, if not definitely top 5. Let's see how we go against him. We're starting off in Korea, which is going to be a fairly uneventful start, so let me just click towards the middle here, I think. And we do not get flawless by Blinky. That's excellent. We are slightly closer there. Let's see what happens on round number 2 here as we spawn into maybe some Malaysia action. No, not at all. It's going to be Guatemala. Yeah, there we go. With all the palms, looks like the south of the country. We've also got a huge like volcano north of us, which is really interesting here. Feels like we're on the south coast to me. Let's see if I can find a volcano that lines up. Maybe we're looking at this one here, the Atitlan volcano. We could also be looking at this one here, which is the Volcán de Fuego. I like that name. Yeah, really not sure. I mean, it looks kind of like very prominent. So I would probably think it might be this one here. Did not really get to find the right angle of the road, but yeah, I guess we probably, which one were we looking at? We were probably actually looking at Atitlan there, but Blinky is slightly closer. All right, round number 3 here. What have we? We have Mexican Poles. Oh, that's interesting. So we have the 134 and Tehulpico. Never heard of that place, but have no idea that Blinky may have, so we're probably gonna have to lock in here. The 116, he's gonna be 5K'ing, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna get scanning. The 116. Well, no, it's the 134. Why did I say 116? I don't know. 135 is here. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if they're grouped together much. They actually might be. I mean, he's taking his time too. He may not have found it. Oh, there's the one. Yeah, 134, huh? 134. Nice, okay. And now we just check along here. We should be able to see Tehipulco or Tehipilco or whatever. I'm terrible at that. The 134, does it continue over the other side? Doesn't seem to. So we should be around the right place here. We're in a town called Luvianos. There. I mean, I'm just gonna guess. I mean, could we have actually found it when Blinky didn't? That would be crazy because I feel like I scanned that pretty slowly. And we actually did. That is a rare one there. Pretty happy with that, but it's pre-multi, so it's relatively negligible damage. But guys, if I outscan Blinky, yeah, that's pretty nice, especially at this time of night. Next one here, we got like a national park in the Netherlands here. Like, look how hilly it is. Dutch people see hills like that and call it a national park. Crazy, I know, but that's my prediction here. Oh, I saw a similar one here. Wait, was it Amsterdam? No. I think it was Tilburg. Yeah, they have like the dunes. Yeah, I'm gonna go there, I think. Is there any proper clues here? Not really. I think I'll try that. It'd be crazy if this was actually correct, but it does say dunes, so why not? I have a feeling we're quite wrong. Oh yeah, we are. It wasn't even proper hills. It was just the beach, or like whatever this stuff is plus the beach. I don't know. Anyway, Blinky got it right. No surprises there. We lose a lot of our advantage that we had, and we're through to the multis. Okay, so this looks like northern Oman to me. Northeast is flat, whereas southeast and particularly west is mountainous. So that's really interesting to me. Probably indicates that we're going to be near the coast, I suppose. Would that make sense? I think so. I don't even know, to be honest, guys. It could just be like near the border with the UAE as well. Because if you think about it, if we look north and it's completely flat, that could just be where the ocean is. If we look northwest, then we do see hills and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the longer we leave Blinky to cook with this round, the worse it's going to go for us though. Maybe it's like all the way out on the beach here. Nah, I can't really justify that. I think I'm going to go in Soha, but I don't really love it. Let's see where it actually is, yeah? And okay, Blinky has the actual 5K. That's a nutty 5K, but you know what? 5K animations aside, we didn't really get to see our guesses in combination or in comparison, but I'm still fine with that, to be honest. This one I'm just gonna go quickly. Last time I overthought their Swatini. This time it's negligible damage. Let's just get it over with. All right, there we go. It was actually just in the west. A couple of points of damage. As I said, not really worth overthinking when it's only 2.5 times damage. Okay, here we are in Ukraine. This like silver Google car is normally found in the center south of the country, like in roads around Mykolaiv and Odessa. Looks like we're going northwest as well, so maybe like the P71 here. No doubt Blinky will know. I just want to get rather close here. I don't have to be precise. Actually, I know Blinky was practicing Ukraine today. So yeah, not really too hopeful that I'll actually be closer here, but I'll just leave it there. And yeah, we've actually guessed the exact same spot. Ends up being a bit further north, so that is fine. And unfortunately, Blinky has taken the lead, but it's only very slight. Okay, triple damage here. We're in Nigeria. Oh, we've got like a thing sticking out the front of the police car. That's kind of funny. We've got Muslims, so that would tend to put you further north in Nigeria. There are more Muslims in the north. We have southeast mountains, whereas everything else is pretty flat. So that probably rings a bell for Blinky. Does it for me? I couldn't say it really does. It feels like it's going to be one of these cities out here. What does Bauchi have? Bauchi does actually fit the description. Pretty flat apart from southeast mountains. I mean, I think there is a lot of cities that actually kind of fit the description here. A lot of them do tend to have just like one big ridge to the southeast, I've noticed. He's still scanning. I'm getting more worried, guys. I think I'm just going to hedge out towards the east. I'm actually just going to go for the hedge here. And it was just Abuja the whole time. He goes Bauchi like I was thinking. That's a crazy one. Did not think it was going to be just Abuja, but it was. 3.5 times damage now. 20 bucks on the line, guys. Gotta lock in here. This is that very overcast road. I think it's the one in northern Colombia, at least, like this one, right? So maybe we're like right here. I think so. I'm just gonna go for it here. I think the landscape makes a great amount of sense, like the palm trees. You get this shape of palm in Colombia, and then of course we got the white signpost to make sure we're there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this road. Is it indeed? And well, it is. We're basically on it, but Blinky actually has the 5K. Pretty crazy. I don't know how he got so precise, 19 meters away. Gosh damn. man, this guy is actually a menace. But we're on to quadruple damage now, and this time it's going to be another fairly straightforward round. We're just going to be in Guatemala once again. I don't see a great reason not to just go the middle of the country here. Like, I'm thinking either Guatemala City or Quetzaltenango. I don't know. I'm just going to go here. Oh my gosh, it was Flores. I always forget that Flores has hills, and he's actually 5k'd again. This is diabolical, guys. Okay, next one here. We got place name here. Something ending with RI, I would say, starting with an S. So some city starting with an S, ending with RI, that has Ocean South. Okay, that's fascinating. Oh, and he's gone so quickly. What the heck? What's the architecture like here? It's pretty fancy. And oh my gosh, we have so little context here, man. Oh, I just found immediately something that fit. Yes, let's go, man. Oh, so lucky. I thought it would be near the Bosphorus Strait because we saw all those shipping ships. Like, this is the Bosphorus Strait, which leads the Black Sea to, you know, the ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. But I was just very fortunate to come across that town name eventually. I knew they write the town names on the bin in Turkey, so that was at least, you know, good tactics. Okay, next one here. We're going north. It's like very rocky. It reminds me of this northern part of Guatemala. The Tikal road looks similar to this. I'm not sure if this road also has coverage. I can't remember. I think I'll just go in Santa Ana. Does that make sense? No, this one's a bit different. I think I would just go here. Yeah, it is there, but again, Blinky's got the 5k. Oh my gosh, man. He actually might have 5k'd 50% of the round so far. That's actually crazy. That is actually bonkers, man. Okay. Ooh, wait. I know where this is. This is I got a little secret meta about this one. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. I think this insulator specifically is found in this region up here. So if I'm right about this, I can imagine it being huge damage because, to be honest, I wouldn't have gone there without the insulator. But if I remember correctly, then yeah, we should be there. I hope this is not me misremembering something. Okay, it was. That's a great one to come up. And 5.5 times damage, by the way. That's 6.4k. Okay, I love it when something I researched comes up. So satisfying. 6 times damage now. And we are looking at some interesting road lines here. These are the ones that you see in Uruguay. One of my stronger countries, to be fair. We're on a very straight and flat road here. What's the angle? Okay, that's the angle. Interesting. Maybe like the number 5 here could make some sense. It is extremely straight where we can see. And a lot of trees as well. I think I do like the number 5. We know Blinky's really good at lining stuff up, so we want to be confident. I'm not seeing a perfect angle here, to be honest with you. Maybe the number 6 is better. I don't know. I'm going to stick with the number 5 here. Not loving it. We guessed the exact same place, but it's actually the 25. Okay, I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, next one here. This is going to be southern Peru. It is very barren here. With this like golden grass, I would definitely associate that with like near Lake Titicaca. So we have like kind of a north-south kind of... Oh, it's an interesting landscape here. I would probably just slam it like around this area here with this landscape. Just, yeah, so much grass and like a small valley. Bit worried that Blinky might be able to line this up in the time I've given him. And okay, it was a bit further south then. Not the best guess by me, admittedly, but Blinky is not too much closer. It's going to be 1.6k. Oof, that evens things up a lot. This round though is interesting. This is Japan. I do like guessing Japan without information. So this is very flat. We have a lot of these trees, which I associate with like the center of the country. Whole tops are too far to see, so we're gonna have to rely on architecture here. Architecture is pretty generic. We're very flat to the west, quite flat to the east as well, but yeah, just extremely flat to like the southwest and west. So that is just like really interesting to me. Like Wakayama is like completely too mountainous the whole way. Totori also too much. Fukui too much as well. I'm just like looking at different areas that are possible. Aichi, like around Nagoya, does get pretty flat. I could see it being around there, but that's so urban. That's the problem. I feel like it could be like Okayama, Kagawa area, maybe. Specifically speaking, to our west, it is just very flat, and we can see a lot. I have not found a particularly appropriate place to click for that reason, but I'm gonna go Kagawa here. Please be decent. And okay, it was up towards Fukui there. I think I said Fukui didn't work, but apparently it did. Okay, and he's in Osaka, which is also a good guess. I'm definitely gonna do quite a bit of damage there. So 7.5 times damage, and we're back in the Philippines. That was good last time. Again, it's good because we don't have any specific information. We have this type of, yeah, I don't remember what that one means. Unfortunately, that little type of counter. We have wooden pole, some new coverage, a lot of bananas, a lot of coconuts. Can we see any like specific kinds of palm trees? Not that I'm aware of. It looks like it's a high rainfall area just by the way the road is like quite dark. So that helps. Gosh, man, beyond that, there's not much going on here. I gotta say, it feels like we probably have East Coast, I would say. Is that thing? I don't know. It's just too far away to really be sure, but I feel like I've learnt that before. It felt to me like maybe later or Samar. I think I'll go Samar here. Ooh, that's gonna be very bad damage. 7.5. I did not think that was gonna be vanilla, and that's GG. So there we go. Blinky does take it in, you know, narrow fashion, although we'll see if we look back at the summary here that Blinky was closer a lot of times. How many 5Ks exactly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5Ks. That is actually crazy. Let's go congratulate Blinky on his win. Blinky, congratulations. You won. Good game. That was a fun duel.
Yeah, GG's. Pretty intense, I guess.
Pretty intense. 4 5Ks. Which one do you think was the most impressive of them?
Colombia just randomly somehow 5K kicking in the middle of the road. That was kind of crazy, I guess. But
Oh, yeah,
not
that was
impressive, I
crazy.
guess just lucky. And Oman, I guess. Otherwise, was probably the hardest.
Yeah, Oman, I would agree. That was the one I was most surprised to see you 5King, for sure. But anyway, Blinky, you're world champion for a reason. Thank you for coming back on the channel for what must be like a good number of times now. It's always a pleasure to have you. And any last words for the people?
Subscribe.
You heard the man. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. If you want me to do a similar challenge or you have a suggestion, let me know. Until next time, goodbye.